Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/ Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, well, you shouldn't have fired the IT guy then. You are no longer allowed to reach out to IT. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Well, you shouldn't have fired the IT guy then. In a past life I worked for an MSP, and we got a new client. The IT guy was at his wit's end. He had been there for 5 years, and in the last 3 has not had a day away from work. The straw that broke the camel's back was returning from the beach to his hotel room to find several messages from reception. They were work calls asking about mundane stuff. So, he hired us to help out, so he could actually get back on track with his workload and occasionally, actually have a holiday. It turns out his employers were very tight-fisted, and within 2 weeks of hiring us, their boss, a man who hears only what he wants to hear, and ours a salesman who thinks everything is a sales opportunity. It seems I were going to do in half a day a week what this person had been doing full time. Now, as I said, my boss was a salesman, their boss heard what he wanted. I have always pictured the conversation they must have had as a montage moment with 3 cells on a TV screen, one with the inner monologue of my boss on the left, one with the inner monologue of theirs on the right, and the real-life events going on in the middle. Somehow my boss thought he had negotiated to sell them a new phone system. I only do IT, not telephony, and their boss thought that we would take over maintenance of their ancient Toshiba analog system. Many other similar misunderstandings between them took place that day. Their old IT guy was the absolute epitome of anything with a plug on it is my department. That is not how my company worked. The MSP I worked for had some characters, and some jaded employees who didn't care. This client would quickly make me transform to the latter. The client mailed across their works list, and the girl who scheduled calls diligently copied and pasted the contents of the email into the works order, replied that's all fine to the client. She had only been doing this job for 15 years, she had still yet to learn to review client requests. I arrived for my first half day at the client, my site contact came up, and we were going to prioritize the list I was handed. Me, item 2? Contact, oh yes, can we do that one first? Me, change the strip light in your office as the bulb is flickering? Contact, yes, it's so annoying. Me, no, I only do information technology, computers, servers, network hardware, broadband etc. I don't change light bulbs. Contact, oh, but the last IT guy did all of that. It was the start of the long half day. Other items included, look at the AC unit that was making noises, reprogram 3 extensions on the Toshiba phone system. Swap the first and second floor copiers between floors. Of a list that was 14 items long, only 3 were actual IT issues. This client soon became a regular contributor of some of the most head-in-hands cases we had ever received. Oh, but the last IT guy did all of that, became their closing statement. With such greats as a panicked call at 1758 help, our door security system won't let us lock the front door. It turns out their IT guy did the door entry system for the whole building as a side hustle when they moved in. They had money but didn't like spending it. They had a team of accountants in Singapore because they were cheap, but the accountants kept resigning because they couldn't do the work as the account system was based in England and they were connecting over remote desktop to the UK office running on an 8 MB down 1 MB up ADSL line. I remember the meeting, it was great. CB equals client boss, me equals me, IT equals internal IT guy. CB, another accountant resigned and complained the systems are too slow. IT, like I said, we have a slow broadband line, we need a fast low latency line, not a home user speed one. CB, me, what do you think? Me, I agree, your line is far too slow, it would be unworkably slow making the job impossible, you need a lease line. CB, too expensive. As I said, my boss was a salesman, so he sold them another 8 MB DSL. I had to sit the bosses down and draw a picture to tell both bosses why the new line, and all the load balancer settings in the world would not fix this. Here is a sinking ship, you need a big pump capable of shifting hundreds of gallons a minute to get the water out, you currently have a bucket. Instead of selling them a big pump, you sold them another bucket. One of the final nails in the coffin was the logs from their door entry system. There was a corner office with a DB9 wall port, which had a serial cable going to a workstation with never turn off or move door entry database computer written all over it. We got the support call that the ops lady couldn't get the door entry logs. The database connects, but there were no logs for the last month. I went there. The computer was gone. They had a new starter. I recognized the chassis under his desk. Again, I had to give them a puppet show for your entry logs to be recorded. This computer had to be in that corner office with that big long cable plugged into the back. That big long cable is resting on the floor. Without it connected, this computer doesn't get the new logs. What about the last month's logs? How do we get them back? You don't. It was a real-time serial connection from the door system. Why did this computer get moved? The boss thought it was doing nothing and moved it himself. He didn't want to buy a new one. I was very happy to say we parted ways shortly after that. We told them they required an on-site guy permanently. They hired the cheapest person they could find. For 3 weeks he was logging tickets daily asking about how things worked. We could have gotten him up to speed if we had 6 months, but after 3 weeks they canceled their support contract. The last I saw of their new hire was him leaving the local supermarket with a job application form. You are no longer allowed to reach out to IT. I worked on service desk not too long ago, and we had a frequent flyer always asking for help. It was always the simplest things: password reset after an hour of already resetting it, mouse isn't plugged in, that type of stuff. This was the last time he was allowed to come to SD for help. The user was an entry-level employee straight from college. It's because of him that I don't assume younger people know technology. Dang, did I just say younger people? User walks into service desk. Hey, my PC is showing a black screen. Can you come help? Me, immediately annoyed by the presence of this user asterisk, looking at user and side glancing at colleague. Hey there. Is it turned on? User, I don't know. Me, did you move the mouse to see if it was asleep? User, yes. Me, sounds like it's just turned off. Go make sure it's plugged in and press the power button and come back if it still isn't working. User leaves and comes back 5 minutes later, it's still not working. I get up. He leads me to his desk. I'm kind of annoyed. While he was away, I tried to ping his workstation and it wasn't connected. It was off. I'm 3 desks down and see the power light isn't on. I walk up and stand there, see it's plugged in. I also see the Ethernet port is lit, so it's getting power. So what to do? I press the power button. I hear the fan turn on. I don't even wait to see if it turns on. I just walk away, no words, nothing. User, whoa. What did you do? I stop about 10 steps away from him, turn around, I press the power button. Next time I ask you to do the simple thing, please listen. User's colleagues who overheard me said various things like damn, he told you, or you should have listened, or just laughter. User's manager who happened to be passing me, wait, did he just come ask you for help? I told him to just turn it on. Me, yep. That's all it was. Manager, $user, you are no longer allowed to go to IT for help. If you need something, you come to me, and I will escalate if it needs it. You waste too much time blaming IT on your issues. Me, thanks. As it turns out, not only would he do walk-ins, but he'd call our line for help on the same issues he'd walk in for. He was a nuisance and was let go a few months later for underperforming. Apparently, it wasn't just us who he'd be bothering all day long. Asterisk also, I know I was pretty short with him. But that's just me TBH. If I may, I was really good at fixing issues, and was always one of the top techs each month. But my customer service wasn't always great. My previous life in hospitality ruined me, so I can rarely deal with people with a smile on my face. Thankfully, I'm now in a job that I don't have to please people all day long, and now I get to be in a more proactive role away from the business. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.